Ultimately, I feel like I'm living in abundance. I feel very fortunate, and at the time, material things were much more important to me. And more recently, I am so aware of those without, and my real ethos of Magpie was to give back. My mum used to call me Magpie, little Magpie, because I used to love going around everybody's nest and taking all the glittery things and bringing them back to mine when I was a child. And my mum was incredibly generous, and she was really up for recycling, free cycling. She would have given me the shirt of her back. So I really wanted to bring in the spirit of my mum, right, to an event that was curated to bring people together, to connect people locally within our community. I partnered with Portrush, which is in existence about 7 years, and a very beautiful woman, Val, started it. And I've been aware of their work, and I'm really behind them and inspired by their community initiative to really offer to folk who are maybe socially isolated or don't have the means, or and they were the inspiration for partnering. Locally as well, we have North Coast Community Exchange, which are another organisation where we are giving and receiving in non-monetary ways. Each transaction of giving and receiving is recorded, but it's not in money, it's in waves.
Yeah.
And then we have an existing festival in October called Swell, Incredible Woman Gemma Reid, and I was also aware of her and her energy and positivity and creativity, and I really was interested in making it a combined collaboration.
And they had a repair cafe here today as well,
We did. Swell encouraged multiple repair area, including some sewing and interlocking and bicycle repairs, some soldering. It's phenomenal response, on a voluntary basis, with all of the donations to reach Portrush, and an affordable food, which is something I'm really passionate about. Having done my Eden Project community training, I actually hosted a disco soup 2 years ago, a really successful event, which incorporated so much food waste. And similarly today, we had affordable food, which utilised my friendship group's culinary skills, but also an incredible amount of food waste and donation from bakery sales, from Marks and Spencer's, from Lidl, from Fidela Coffee. Yeah, so super fortunate.
And I believe almost £1,000 was raised for Reach
more.
today. So
Currently in the donation boxes alone, I think there's been £1,000, but the money element was the least of my motivation, because really my whole premise is to get away from thinking in terms of value to the money, and more about what we have, what resources we have, what we can offer.
And you brought people together today. I mean, that was one of the most beautiful things, I think, to watch, was how people connected. And
brilliant. And
some people sat at that table on their own, and other people came and sat with them. And, for us with the Big Lunch and Eden's, network, we're very much about how people can connect each other. And I think you could have done this on your own, but it wouldn't have been the way it is now.
No, food is fundamental. Food is a massive connector, I believe. Mm-hmm. I'm all about the food. My whole love is cooking and feeding and nurturing. Again, sustainable. Food waste is phenomenal. Like, how much have we given today, supplied today, and the generosity of those beautiful friends that have given and offered their own skills. And
some of the people today were able to come, and if there was something there that they couldn't afford, they were able to ask and just take that home as well. Absolutely. Which was a beautiful approach.
Correct. We have currently in our village, in our neighbourhood, we have an asylum seeker or refugee accommodation, which currently is potentially housing about 120 women and children and men from Afghanistan, from all parts of Africa, from Asia, and I have visited there under the Magpie umbrella, which is Little Miss Magpie Me. And we as a cooperative were able to give tokens
Yeah.
to all of those residents to come down the town. Some of them had never been down the town. They have been here for months. They live a couple of miles on a hill, and I encouraged them to come down to exchange their tokens for any of the donations. Many of them are fasting, so they weren't able to eat. Some did eat, but it was incredible, and they really felt included, right? The inclusivity of it, and the generosity, and just reaching out. Just
I mean, one of the men popped his head in the kitchen door and said, "I'm sorry, I only have a token. Can I do the dishes?" You know, and that was lovely.
Really
Yeah,
amazing.
really lovely.
No, phenomenal response across the board. Friends, partners with Reach, with Swell, with North Coast Community Exchange, my own social circle of friends have been incredibly helpful and supported my family. So
I think there's a very strong sense of community, but I think as well as that, all of those different groups do act on their own and do have their own following, but it was really lovely for them to reach beyond that today.
yes, of course.
And I have to say, you know, for me it was a real joy to volunteer and to meet people and to, you know, hear that they're positive. Even just people saying, "Oh, you're a nice host," that, you know, that's lovely. You get something back from that. So if you had a couple of top tips for people who maybe are thinking of doing something but just sitting on their idea, what would you say?
Oh, guys, I think I'm not going to say start small, right? I truly believe if you feel there's a need, or if you feel in some part of you that there is something that you would love to bring forward, go after it. I would absolutely recommend that you get support and share it with your friends and the people that you know will back you. The community training of I absolutely recommend that you share your idea potentially with someone that you think is like-minded.
See where it goes.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much
My
for staying.
Grania, thank you.
No
Thank you.
bother at all. It was a joy.
Thank you.